I just find it ironic that, it's just only like a few years ago that this whole you cannot call a woman a female thing came up. It's disrespectful to call a woman female. I didn't understand it to the point when another woman was having an argument. I asked, why is it? Just to get an answer. And me asking that question got me attacked. So I was like, okay, well, apparently
it's not your fight. This is why we're on the sideline.
This is a very delicate situation here. I just find it so ironic that now you're arguing to be a female because it represents what you want as a woman.
The irony for me is that
podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous. It's ridiculously funny.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. So let's start this show. Like, comment, subscribe to all of the above. Apparently, we're on 14 main streaming platforms and counting.
We
finally got a head count. But all the majors and the heavy, we are there.
Yeah.
Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podvine, Anchor, we're there.
And all the ones that are not as known, thank you for picking us up.
Yes.
And
appreciate you.
Sharing our message to the viewing and listening audience.
Yes, and help spread the word and stuff as well. We got podicalsons.com. You can check out the content and stuff there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tell a friend is them again.
The socials.
Yes, and at podicalsons.com, and tell the baby mamas. Yo.
That line there,
that part always killed me in that damn song.
That one line there?
Yo, okay. If somebody says baby mama, baby daddy, does that mean they're together or they're not together? Because if you're not together, why don't you just say ex?
Could say ex, yeah.
My ex, when we were, my ex and da-da-da, you like my son, or my ex and my daughter.
Right.
Or my ex and has my kids.
But I think the baby daddy or the baby mama kind of like has to like...
Means they're together. They're together, no?
Well, it can, but even with the separated, I think it just kind of skips over that part of you having to explain why you still talk to your ex. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just on my phone with ex. Well, why you still talk to your ex? Well, we have kids. We have a kid.
Yeah, but when you're saying like, who that is my baby daddy? Who that is my baby daddy? I feel like y'all together.
You feel like they're still together?
I feel like you're together. Yeah. If you like my ex, it'd be like, all right, cool. Like, I remember, and this was like, I want to say, like, trying to start dating again and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
One woman's like, baby mama, something like, she's a wife.
Right.
She's a wife.
Right.
Just became an ex.
Right.
Right. So I was like, and then I'm like, we don't have any dealings or no space, shape, or form and
no
all the above. And she's like, oh, I can tell because you said ex. I'm like, yeah, ex is short for exit, right? She's like, no. Because if you might say that's my baby mom or like, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, does it mean they're together? I always thought of it.
If they're together, would you say like my boo or my wife or my wifey or my husband or something like that? Wouldn't that be the sign like, okay, that's the significant other? Even if they were like a baby father or baby mother?
I went to a function.
You went to a function?
I went to a function.
Okay.
The white pants
yes.
day.
The linen spread?
The linen spread.
The linen spread.
The linen spread. There was a woman there.
Okay.
We were just having casual conversation.
Right.
Just casual conversation. She complimented me on my outfit and everything like that. She said, oh, I've never seen linen like that before, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So we were having regular casual conversations. So I said, well, I didn't see any ring, but I would just talk, whatever we were talking about, I'm like, well, I don't know if you have a boyfriend or something like that. She's like, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
So I was like,
what's complicated?
Okay. So I said to him, like, is this Facebook? Like, I don't understand. Why are we putting complicated and stuff? It's either you have a man or you don't.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She's like, well, we have kids together. So I was like, is your baby daddy? She's like, yes. So I was like, why are you just avoiding the fact? Who is this man in your life? I'm sorry. Actually, I said, I'm like, do you dig me? Do you think I'm cute or something and stuff for this? Why you're neglecting to answer this question?
Right.
So she's like, why are you asking so many questions for? Because I'm like, you just can't say you're man?
It's complicated.
Like, if you had an argument and stuff, maybe you should work on it before you come out to a barbecue.
Barbecuing.
Yeah.
Looking all single.
Yeah.
When you're
like,
not.
it's complicated. Like, if you're trying to throw me the business, I don't want your business if you got a man.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Marv, but it's complicated.
Fuck you. Here we go, folks. On another daily episode of Smooth Says Some Shit.
Well, I mean, maybe we should find out how they address their one-time significant other no longer in the picture, but still tied by a sibling or a child.
Would you count a sibling? I just count the child.
You just count a child?
Yeah, because I feel like if it's a sibling, you're connected to an ex and stuff, whatever. I feel like things could get disrespectful.
Yeah.
For like the sibling. Like I have a friend. She's married to one of her brother's good friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And it was so funny because when she told me the story about how it is and stuff, whatever, her brother, he has a common name, Mike.
Right.
I'm not gonna say any more of that.
Right.
So he sends her husband a photo because they're still friends, right?
Right.
So he sends the husband a photo of like some beat up car,
right?
And he's like, "This is like the old car you try to buy from way back when and stuff." Da da da. The husband now responds, "But my new ride is your sister."
Right.
So I was like, God. That's a violation.
See, because your child, you can beef and you can have a say, right? But the sibling, you can't really have a say.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You can't really have a say with the sibling.
You have to hug that, bro.
You have to hug.
You have to hug that, bro. You have to hold that.
I'd be interested to know.
Yeah. How are you, man? You good?
I'm good, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we're approaching the end of July into the August. Summer, why? Slow down, man. Slow down.
You read off your church announcements?
Yes, we are closing in on the Battle of the Beat Makers happening on the 26th. So we want you to keep your ears peeled for the event. We will be there with camera in a hand and microphone.
Can people still get tickets?
People can still get tickets. You can still get tickets. You can check it out at World Beat Battle if you're on IG, or www.battleofthebeatmakers.com if you are on the internet, right? And it's going to be a nice event. This year's the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So guest judges will be legendary Queensbridge AZ. Also from dynamic legendary group Mob Deep, we got Havoc in the house, which is
Prodigy.
R.I.P. Prodigy, are definitely R.I.P. Prodigy. But yeah, it's gonna be special because, as some of you may know, Mob Deep is actually one of the main producers. Sorry, Havoc is one of the main producers behind Mob Deep. So it's gonna be a treat to have an actual producer there who's an artist performing, but knows how to critique an actual beat, right?
Well, Manny Fresh was there one year. He could have had him doing
Manny Fresh was
cars
there
real big, house real big, everything real big.
I don't know, maybe the performance wasn't in the budget.
Okay. I
don't know. He big timers, really big timers.
And now
right?
this shit done blew up even more. So now you have money for the budget. I see what y'all did
right.
there.
So now, and AZ also will be in town as a judge and also a performer. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. And super producer Lex Luger rounds out the judging panel. So again, August 26th, we'll have links for that on our social medias, as well as coming closer today. We'll just shout it out again. But that's the church announcements. Asgats, what's about you, Marv?
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. That's it. I'm good, man. Let's get to these polls.
All right.
Ready. First poll of the week says, is nature stronger than nurture? 67% said no. Tell me how you feel.
Nature stronger than nurture?
Is nature stronger than nurture?
I say yes.
You say yes?
Hmm?
I say no.
I
Tell me
say
why you
yes.
say yes.
I say the reason why I say yes is because nature will happen on its own.
And nurture
Right?
is influenced.
Nurture's influence.
Right.
Nurture's got to be. You gotta want to be nurturing, or you gotta want to be nurtured. Nature is just gonna happen. So I think that in itself would make nature stronger to me.
I say nurture because some of the no side of stuff is where nurture kicks in, where you have, let's say, all right, human beings, it's in our nature that we have to urinate.
Right.
Right? It's a nurture or influence or a teaching that they'll tell you have to urinate and stuff, I want to say, in a toilet or like a lavatory in a place.
Right.
What's stopping you from pissing outside?
Nothing's stopping you from pissing outside.
But that's what I'm saying. We've been nurtured and stuff, whatever, to towards the toilets and to the facilities and stuff, right?
Right.
It's natural to piss.
Yes.
It's within that to piss. But I want to say we still choose and stuff that are like, okay, let's say you have big ass backyard with trees and all the above. Why do you have to piss in the toilet? When you know your urine is doing well for nature. It depends if you take a lot of vitamins. You get that Super Saiyan yellow piss.
Yeah,
but other than that, yeah, you get what I'm saying?
I would say conditioning. Because you're right. You can piss anywhere else, right? But if you had no choice of where you could pee from where you can't pee, right? Guess what? Nature's still gonna make you pee. When you want to or
no,
not.
I'm not saying nature's not going to make you pee, but I'm saying like where you pee.
Yeah.
Where you pee is influences stuff.
Where you pee is definitely influence.
Yeah, because like kids and stuff like it's natural stuff like for kids to pee on themselves because they just gotta go.
They have to go.
They have to go. Well, when you redirected them to a toilet, to a potty and everything, that's part of the nurturing nature, like
Right.
teaching aspect, the influence aspect. So I feel like, man, there was that one study and stuff, I think with those, I want to say the Kinsey Institute with the twins. I was hearing about it like eons ago, but it's like, this is, Kinsey Institute is the ones that did the whole spectrum from like, I guess like sex,
Right.
how gay you are and all that type of stuff. And I want to say they had two twins, boys.
Okay.
And they made one twin dress up like a girl.
Right. Yeah,
You remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
And that has some effects on them because they influence from that aspect and stuff of like,
Right.
yo, you're naturally a boy.
Mhm.
Or he was naturally a boy. But they're like, no, we need you to sit down and pee. We need you to do all of that. And it had his own catastrophic event because I think
I think one of them
committed suicide. He
yes.
committed suicide. Like, that one committed suicide.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But then, again,
Yeah.
it's all from the nurturing or fake nurture, not healthy nurturing, let's say that.
Right.
Non-healthy nurturing and stuff influenced to push the individual to set point.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. I feel like nurture is stronger than nature nowadays, especially.
Mm.
And 67% said nurture too. The next poll says, who's more cold-hearted, men or women? And women came in with the whopping win at 88%. Tell us, not your average, how do you feel about sex? Question.
I think men.
Woo! Talk.
I think we're cutthroat and logical. There's not much room for feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think with women,
Mm-hmm.
women will appear to be more hurtful, right? But they really actually have to go out of the way to do hurtful or say hurtful things.
I think that's for both, no?
No, because I think a man can say something
Mm-hmm.
and not realize it's hurtful. Just he can just be oblivious to the fact.
True, but I think an individual just might do that and stuff, whatever. I think like in general, pertaining to not knowing the unknown, right? I look at it stuff as that if you're a Caucasian person,
Right.
and you've been around black people and stuff, you won't ask them to touch their hair.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're in the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, can I touch your hair? If you're in the knowing and stuff, they're like, we find that offensive and blah blah blah. You get them a whole list of things.
Right.
You won't get one. You won't get one that would move like that.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah, but I would say still with the women, just for the nature the nature in themselves, they're thinking it with a more heart aspect than a mind aspect. Where a man it's that logical, it's common sense, and it might come off harsh. It may come off in a more harsher tone or a more. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but when a woman does it, it's like she's doing it deliberately to try and jab at you. Go at. She's like, when a man can just be effortless.
You're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, because I want to say, remember the period statement I made? Oh, are you laughing already? Like, just say yes, Marv. I remember. You already gave me a laugh.
Marv, I remember. When I got said in person in trouble.
So for the folks at home, Not Your Average told me to say this.
Recap.
Previously on Marvelous. What happened was there was a co-worker of mine. She's an older lady. And she was saying something about she looks older. Can I say that again?
She looks older.
She looks older.
No.
So she said the statement and stuff where, oh my gosh, I can't believe my head is killing me like this. It always happens when I'm getting close to my period. Because she looked older, Not Your Average Joseph, he texted me and he had told me to ask her stuff, whatever. Like, you still get periods? Like, didn't you hit menopause already? But
y'all know that's not how the story goes. Dirt bag over there.
There's somebody listening to this like, this guy's insensitive. But again, when you're not in the knowing, it doesn't, I didn't mean to come off harsh.
Right.
And cold-blooded.
Exactly. Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, I get it.
Right.
I was in the unknown.
Right.
Right? Now, when you're in the knowing, and then, like, what do you do with this now? I think, yes, this is where it gets cold-hearted. Yes. But I feel like...
But you're just a bad example for this altogether,
yeah,
Marv,
I'm just fucked up.
Because even a typical male would have probably just held that one. But no, you're just fired from the hip, Marv. So it'll get you in trouble. It'll get you in trouble. A lot of times, more often than not, you tip the scales for us males.
I feel like I thought it was a man problem, but I realized it's a me problem and stuff. Like I thought men, because I always thought men had these intrusive thoughts that they just work on, like they just move by.
Yeah,
like
we have them.
I always hear guys like they'll get drunk. Let's open up a bar. And I'm like, why? You're gonna be drinking your own supply. Like, why? Right? But then I was like, oh, this is your intrusive thought as a man. So this is the reason why you're saying all of this and stuff. I get it. But my intrusive thought and stuff is just looking like, you're a veteran by now. Like, menopause should be behind you. Like, I don't understand. But
to say the least, she wasn't impressed at the comments.
No, I apologize for my ways, and I didn't know.
Right.
And I did not know. But I know a woman.
Just going to say, he wasn't trying to be malicious.
No. Yeah. I know a woman, though. She actually hit menopause at like 35.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
She hit menopause at 35 and stuff.
Did she already have children? Or
yeah, she had. Okay. She has, I think her son, she had boy and girl. I think the son's older. But yeah, she hit menopause early. So it was even another time where I think we were together or I was dropping her home or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And someone else was in the car with us. We're having a full conversation.
Right.
And she's like, whew, I'm so glad those days are behind me after the menopause thing. Trust me, it was hard. But I got through the menopause, like hot flashes and everything in my 40s. So I'm just like, free the bird. So I was like, oh, okay. I was younger at that time and stuff, whatever, too. So I'm like, yeah. But she never specified age. Then after I had that conversation and stuff, I think I ended up seeing her like close proximity of it. Right, I was like, I'm like, blank, when did you hit menopause? She's like, at 35. I was like, is that early? And she's like, yeah, it's early and stuff for the most. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, when? And then that person who I accidentally said to stuff for her, she's like, most people hit it at like their 43 mark or stuff.
Yeah, around there.
But said person is a year younger than you. And they still never hit men, no.
Okay.
So, shout out to the young women out here.
Fertile ground.
Fertile ground. That's what we're saying. Oh my God.
Fertile ground.
That one sounds wild. That's a wild. You're a wild boy for that one. I say women, though. Women are more cold-hearted. Because, again, I think going out the way, right? Hell has no fury compared to a woman scorn.
Right.
So I think when she's realized she's hurt, it's like, no. This bitch right here is gonna get it. That's my woman angry voice right there. It's like, no, this motherfucker didn't. He think he's just gonna get a new bitch number in my phone. After I pay bills in the air. You know, that's Devil Wears Prada.
That's creepy.
Yeah, Devil Wears Prada. Yeah, man.
What's the likes for her? Scary.
All right, man. Let's get ready to the festivities. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Because I know you always got some things to talk about, but I just impose my damn bullish ways and bully ways upon you. What would you like to talk about today? Let me draw a strong...
I mean, my girl Jess.
Jess, you want to start? Let's start with Jess. Let's start with Jess. All right.
Start with Jess. A real woman.
Real women. You know, I think from us saying real women,
right?
We've already drawn where we stand in the sand.
That's what I'm about to say. Is like we'll try and hold up the other side of the argument as well because we're objective people here.
Let me say this. I'm gonna try to be PC about this as much as possible. I do respect everybody.
Yes.
The only time I don't respect you is when you disrespect me. So I do respect you all the way through and through all the above. Whether it be trans, animal, person, whatever you identify.
And
man, straight woman, etc.
And we believe it's your right to live your life how you see fit.
Facts.
We're not trying to interrupt that whatsoever.
The reason why I say, you tell them why you say real woman. Start with that first then.
The reason why I say real woman is because I'm looking at something from a physical and factual background rooted in science.
Okay.
You have the person who has a X and Y chromosome, and then you have the double X chromosome. You don't have any other pairs other than that. One symbolizes a female with female reproductive system. One represents a male with a male reproductive system. That is the basis that we don't have been taught of gender. Now, there has been variations of this, right?
Okay.
By nature. It's not a consistent enough variation to say we're going to have another gender pool. We still to this point.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's say
we're talking about the people and stuff like the
let's say intersex.
Okay.
Right? They're not being birthed at the rate of either sexes.
Okay.
Because if they were, it would make sense to categorize a third gender.
Right. So you're saying the numbers are in the few and far.
We can look at it as an anomaly.
Right. But we acknowledge the anomaly.
We acknowledge that it happens and it happens more than often.
Yeah,
right? It happens, right? Fair. But we can still look at it as not enough to say it qualifies as this being on its own. Yet. Not to say that it'll never happen. Yet. Right?
Right.
You cannot now say you represent something physically if you do not have the physical attributes. Mentally, I don't care what you want to believe or think mentally.
So, let's say if I was a transgender person,
Right.
right? I had breasts and I had a penis.
Right.
So, because I have breasts, I have implants now.
Right.
I can identify and fight a cause and stuff, or have an argument pertaining to bras are uncomfortable than a mother.
Let me rephrase what I'm saying.
Okay.
Naturally developed.
Okay. All right.
Right. Naturally developed.
All right.
This is part of this was the gift of being either an XX chromosome or an XY chromosome.
Mhm.
You came with these parts, right?
Gotcha.
That qualifies or quantifies in my mind, and for a lot of people's mind, what a woman is, what a man is.
Okay. So that's your real definition.
That's my real definition.
My real definition is the reason why I say real woman, because I look at it where, yeah, artificial or naturally given set parts, right? So I want to say, again, if you were born naturally with a penis by nature, or the conventional way that we know, even test tube babies and stuff as well.
Right.
You came out with the penis and, and no ovaries and reproductive organs of sperm.
Right.
Yeah, that's natural. That's real. I think anything else, stuff, whatever that you're adjusting to or making adjustments and everything is modified or artificial now.
Right.
Right. Like I want to say, if I lost my arm and I got a prosthetic arm, it doesn't make it a real arm.
No.
It's an artificial arm.
Right.
So this is artificially, this is not real. So if it's not natural, it's not artificial.
Right.
That's why I say real. That's why I say real women. Now, trans women, pertaining to, like, I have no problem with the name. I have no problem whatsoever with what it is, but I say real women and I still say trans women because that's the name that they've given us.
Right.
And I've learned to understand and make peace with it, because I want to say, when I was younger, I want to say more than likely I probably done said, like, vestite.
Right.
Right. And it wasn't a level of again, it's the not knowing
right.
aspect and stuff. Right. And then when I got a better understanding, because I think I was probably like, I think I heard this allegedly Eddie Murphy got pulled over, or he got caught with a trans person way back when.
Yes.
And then I heard the adults talking and stuff for oh, Eddie Murphy likes transvestites. So I was like, what is a transvestite? Whatever, right? And they're like, he, she, him. So I was like, yeah, I'm not following. Right. And then they're like, they have this. No. I think my uncle or something said, like, it's a chick with dick. I was like, how's that possible? Like, easy have a wee-wee, you have no tits. Because I was younger. When I got the understanding, transgender. Right. Or trans woman, trans man.
And I've always wondered, like, okay, for that specific person, is that the actual correct term, or is hermaphrodite the actual correct term for that? Because anytime I hear trans, I think of something changing.
You're right.
Right? So when I think of, like, when I hear or transgendered male or transgendered female, I think of someone who's actually already in one gender state, transitioning into another gender state, and not necessarily already born with both parts. When I think of someone born with both parts, hermaphrodite comes to mind. So I'm like, when we say transgender, is transgender the actual proper term for it, for that, or
what, for hermaphrodite?
Or is it
intersex?
Intersex.
For hermaphrodite, the proper term is intersex.
Is intersex. Yeah. Okay.
That's intersex.
Yeah. Okay. So transgendered person and intersex person could be totally two different people. Okay.
Different people.
So I want to make that clarification.
Because the intersex, they're born with
both parts.
But then, like, I think one reproductive thing might be more heavier than the other within a person.
Right.
So let's say they might have penis, but sperm is not being able to be developed. They have ovaries because they have a penis and a vagina.
Right.
Right. So that would be that situation. So intersex is, I guess the slang or derogatory term would be hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite, right.
And trans, it doesn't matter how long and stuff, whatever. You're still you transitioned
right
into man or you transitioned to woman. So it's not like you're still going through it, whatever. I think every day we're going through everyday struggle. But I feel like if you lived as a trans person and stuff, or even like, let's say, going back to the Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
If you lived as a trans person for a year, I don't think next year is going to be any more or less of a challenge compared to like, this is your first year as your hardest. Like, no, you're still going to go through some other stuff because one, most of those surgeries and like the science work behind it is not really that long.
No.
So there's tons of documentaries that I've seen where people like, they transition younger and in their 40s, they're now dying. Right? So
actually, there's a post about someone wanting to sue the government, not wishing to give them assisted suicide. And they want assisted suicide because they're in constant pain from their transition surgery.
Right. So what happens when you kind of go against like the natural, the nature aspect of things, right? Some things might mutate for a good reason or a bad reason. And that's just like, even like when you're planting shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's called a pine berry. The same way how a strawberry looks, Uno reversed that bitch. Like with the white looking type of seeds and the red flesh.
Yeah.
It's white flesh
right.
with red seeds. Right? This is not natural. This is man created and stuff. It seems fun. Are you okay with putting non-natural stuff in your body, right? I want to say, I feel like I put a lot of non-natural stuff within my body and I can identify, for me, I can identify what the fuck the problem is or whatever, right? Like I'm looking like, if I'm used to eating home-cooked meals and stuff, whatever, then I go get like some McDonald's type of thing and I'm like, get the bubble guts or like, you know?
Yeah, like, you can pinpoint where the problem is, where the problem
may lie. I was eating good over here with natural shit. I go fuck with this damn different burger and then here we go. Now, my thing pertaining to, no, but let me start with this whole Jess thing. So, let me say this first. I feel like as black men, straight men, this is not our fight. This is not our fight.
It's not our fight.
This is the time where men get the popcorn
and sit back.
You got to watch this from the stands. You got to watch this from the stands. Because I look at it like this. With Jess, so the points and stuff, whatever, like I employ everybody, look at the video, look at Jess Hilarious's comments, your own, and take what you want to take away and stuff from it. But she made a statement pertaining to trans women about them not having periods.
Right.
Right? It started with a trans woman saying something first.
Yeah.
I don't recall her name.
There has been a few that been talking about they get PMS syndromes or they go through PMS monthly.
What does PMS mean to them? It's like
right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
And I think that's where it's starting to where it stemmed from.
Well, the video I saw with the trans woman that I seen, she was saying straight women are not the gatekeepers of periods. So when she said straight, she said straight women. She said straight or she said cis. I don't want to paraphrase this stuff and get that part wrong because they'll come for me.
Right.
But I feel like, say she said cis women. Cis women, they're not the gatekeeper.
Cis women is straight women.
Yeah.
Right. So just where we're throwing out terms as some people.
No, we said it before though.
No, I know, but like refresh the audience because somebody new might understand.
Well, if you don't know, you need to to know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we live in an information age. Nothing should be brand new to you. But what does a black person look like?
Yeah. No, I only say that because, like I said, and I'm going to touch upon it, is that at some point I was still using female for a while, not knowing that female became an offensive word.
Right. And so this is why you, man, mansplaining self, you sit on the bench with me.
Right.
I will get you some popcorn. We watch them fight.
All right, go ahead.
We just watch them fight.
Yeah, this is the
it's okay.
I should have had the popcorn already. I would have just shut my mouth. I would have just been chewing.
Man, no, because if you'd ask questions and stuff, whatever, meanwhile, the debate is going on, it'd be like, basically, cis is just a real woman.
Real woman.
And that's it.
Okay.
All right, we can get back to the game. Yeah. All right. So now, when it comes to this debate, right? And the period gatekeepers, just hilarious. Yes, she is a comedian, but I feel like the comedians of today are now our leaders and our poets.
Yeah.
Because the things that David Chappelle says, you don't have to be a David Chappelle fan and stuff to know that David Chappelle made a statement for something.
Right.
Right? Again, just hilarious. You probably didn't even know she was on Wild 'N Out. Probably didn't know she was in like so many other things. But when you heard this and you like, you said who? They put comedian next to it, and then now you know who Just Hilarious is.
Right.
With her statement, from my point of view, she brought up valid points. Was it harsh? Yes. It puts, I want to say, it's not what you say, how you say some things.
Right.
So it creates a divide when people don't like to hear what you have to say.
Right.
Because I want to say there wasn't a bias and stuff there too much, because she said in previous statements and stuff before where some dude even called her trans because I think when she had, she had the small ponytail.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we thought you were a man and stuff like that with a trans. We don't know. So, but she cracked jokes and stuff about it. This time she wasn't cracking jokes and she was more serious about it. And I really do agree with her. This is just my stance.
Yeah.
I look at it as I agree with her with the points that she brought in, where if you just became this when we were this,
right?
Like I'm paraphrasing, like I don't know if you can really speak on it too much, but then I said like going over a period of time of years and everything like that, like I forget his name. I want to say Buck. I don't want to call him Buck Nasty, but Buck. He's that trans porn star, and he's like over 50. She's over 50 years old. He's over 50 years old.
Okay.
So he was born a vagina and transitioned to a man. Still kept the vagina. So it's like a gimmick and a monarch and stuff, like mimic little thing,
right,
for a porn,
right,
and still to this day still has vagina.
Okay.
Right? But has facial hair thicker than mine's.
Yeah.
Muscles, no breasts. In your mind, you all right?
Yeah,
you look confused?
It's confusing.
As I said, we're sitting on the side. We're just watching.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a
I
lot
need
of,
more popcorn.
You need more popcorn.
I need more.
Can we get him a deluxe?
I need more popcorn.
Can we get him a deluxe popcorn, please?
Yeah.
Appreciate
some water to wash this down.
Alcohol. Shots. So I look at it as stuff as where, again, with Jess, she brought some points home. Now, I don't know. Okay, so T.S. Madison is a trans woman.
Right.
She had a lot to say
pertaining
to cis women not being straight gatekeepers to periods, and she went at Just Hilarious and stuff too. I think her argument was more of a situation where it was more feeling like who the fuck you think you are and stuff. Right. I understand that part. Did she bring validity to her argument, to her statement? Somewhat. The part where I say somewhat is she was saying that basically men, we tend to just entertain anything. Right. Now, another trans woman and stuff, she chimed in with her piece. Can't remember her name. I think her name was briefly said. Can't remember her name, but she was saying straight men will fuck a trans woman. Yeah. Fuck a regular woman. Yeah. Even being pedophilish will fuck a child. Right. They will fuck damn near anything. Right. She's not trying to be like a straight woman. She said that she is entertainer, like model-wise, and Just Hilarious is comedian. Right. They're not in the same landscape. She's not trying to be like Jess. Well, she lost me with the light skin comment. She said, because I'm light skinned and you're dark skinned and stuff like that. Be like, no. I think the facts what she brought home and stuff is, again, like men would damn near fuck anything. We could testify to some men Right. I know. Right. And there's some trans people, keep it a buck. They look better than some regular women, some real women. Yeah.
No.
Because I want to say, like, they spend the money, or they put the time into, like, I guess, well, imitation is a form of flattery, and they do it well.
Yeah.
Some of them, they do it well. Some of them, you look at stuff and like, you didn't try today. You didn't try today.
But I mean, I don't think Jess's beef is with them who know there are women and not trying to actually be women. I think, you know, if just listening from it, I think, and I can see where the passion comes in from what she was saying is just being fed up of the stuff that, you know, physically and mentally that that part of womanhood you cannot do unless you're biologically born a woman. And it's almost like,
but you said this mimicry of this PMS thing, so I've never heard that.
Right.
So I've never came across that information and stuff before.
Right. So that, right. And then the whole, yes. And I think that's what was really, because she wasn't the first person I heard with that comment. It was, and it was actually another white woman, actually two other white women who were arguing with a trans woman, transgendered woman.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was the same argument. It's like, how can you tell me that my cramps that I feel are not real?
Oh, is that what that trans person said
right.
to the women?
It's saying to the women.
Oh.
And they're saying, well, it may be real, but it's not real due to a physical thing. Right? And it's so like you can't contest to actually being a woman and having that physical feeling of it. And I think that's where it's all started, because they were very adamant that no, we can. Right? So as a woman now, you go through that shit monthly, and you don't even want to go through that shit.
But see, okay, with any woman, if they run into an argument like that, right?
Yeah,
that's what I say. I'm just sitting on the side watching this shit. But anyone that runs into an argument like that, I look at it stuff as the easiest thing she can say and stuff. Whatever is like, that's the former man in you mansplaining to me about my pain.
and shut it down, right?
Yeah, because I'm looking like, I know women who have periods.
Yeah.
And some of them, their period cramps won't even allow them to walk or function properly.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's probably dependent on how their body and stuff is set up. Because remember, genetics play a hell of a role.
Yes.
Right? I want to say the father's side and stuff of, like, let's say lineage of women could have had like thin uterine wall lining and stuff like that. So every time like monthly come, that shedding, she feel every moment of it. Right. Because even I was watching a commercial one time. I was watching it with a woman, and they were talking about like the tampon commercial. They're like, you know, you get that gush. So I'm like, gush. And they're like, you're a man. You will never understand. So I was like, no, but I'm a scientist.
Yeah,
help explain this to me, whatever. Right? They're like, yo, you just know when your period's coming down and stuff, whatever. You just get that whoosh.
Right.
So I was looking like, how does that work on a trans person now? Like a trans woman, like you just get this gush. What are you gushing?
Right. What are you gushing?
So that's what I feel like real women or cis women are the gatekeepers of periods. Fun times. Who you got to win? Who's taking the dub? Who's taking the L?
Cis women's taking the L right now.
Cis women.
They're taking the L right now, man.
Woo! Controversial shit.
I mean, I love for them to win. I would love for them to win. I'm married to a beautiful one. I'm on the team, but you know what I mean? And for me, there shouldn't even be a war. Like, I don't understand what was the problem with just being a trans woman. Why would you why would you feel like you need to take on the necessary attributes 100% and the title of woman? Like, we know who you are.
So you said, what's wrong with a trans woman? Say that again?
With just being and identifying as a trans woman.
Okay. I don't know. Because I
Like, why do we have to remake the term woman to satisfy somebody who we've known all this time
was a man?
as trans woman?
Oh,
and had no problem with trans women.
what? No, so we call them trans women. That's what we call them. Are we calling them a new name?
But what I'm saying right now is we call them trans women, right? Why are we now saying we have to now
define them as women?
What a woman is.
Just in general, like saying like women and put them in the class.
Yeah, why do we have to define what a woman is and say this is no longer what a woman is?
Okay.
Because we have trans women over here.
Okay.
Why can't we have women and trans women?
You're right. It's okay, so I agree with you. But I think the thing and stuff is that, let's say, all right, somebody told me this. If you have $999,000 and stuff, whatever, it took you $2 more and stuff, whatever, to be a millionaire.
Right.
Whatever, right? You got $2 million. I say, I e-transfer you or I cash apped you $2.
Right.
Now you're a millionaire now, right?
Right.
Would the other millionaires recognize you as millionaires? When you know you have millionaires who have like 200 M's in their account and everything like that, and you just slightly made over to the mark.
You probably wouldn't be recognized in those circles.
And so I think that's what it is.
Right.
So they're looking at stuff as like, we've done the necessary things to take us to Plymouth Rock.
Yes.
Why don't you acknowledge us that we're one of you guys?
But what acknowledgement are they looking for besides, because they have all the rights.
Do they?
Don't they?
I don't know. Like you said, I don't know. You said
I think the last one was the washrooms. No, I think the last one was the washrooms. That was holding up everything.
Slight, but I don't think that's everywhere. That's unified across.
It's not unified yet. It's not there yet, but it's almost there.
You think so?
But even if it isn't almost there, right? A straight woman can't walk into a man's washroom.
Well, that's a different kind of movie. But
so from that standpoint, they even have more rights than a straight woman.
But okay, you're to an extent, because I look at stuff. I've been to like clubs and parties and stuff, and I've seen women come into the washroom.
We know they'll do it. But what I was saying is like legally, you're not allowed to.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. This is where I felt like, because my next question I was going to ask you, following up and stuff, is who's more respected?
Right.
And I feel like for the longest, let's say prior to, I'm going to say the 2010s,
right?
Women, real women or cis women were respected more.
Right.
Right? They did the fight. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying nobody's reason to transition to be like, oh, women have all the rights. I should transition and stuff and get some of these rights and stuff, whatever too. But it's kind of like, you've done the necessary work. Why can't you get all the perks? That's what they're looking at it as.
Right.
And I'm not like a trans person told me this and stuff before, right? They're looking like, well, why can't we be acknowledged and stuff as, but I was like,
I'm saying is it just like, is it just the title they're fighting for? Because they seem to have everything else.
Titles mean a lot to people. You forget we live in status time.
It does mean a lot.
We live in status time and stuff. Titles mean a lot. They go a long way. So I'm looking at stuff. I'm like, I see where they're coming from. Yeah. I get it. And I see the argument. And even when you broke it down to give me clarity, you're right. It's the title that they're actually looking for. But it goes back to, I want to say, think about Common Wife. Think about the episode of Common Wife.
Right.
Right? If you guys don't know, go back and play Common Wife and stuff, one of our episodes and stuff. You're going to have the elitists, the naturals.
Right.
Like, think about a natural genius.
Yes.
Think about Mozart.
Yes.
Let's think about Mozart now. You got Mozart thinking about some shit and think about this great symphony he's about to just whop off and everything. Child prodigy, right?
Right.
Naturally born with the gift.
Yes.
This case, the gift is titties and vagina, which I'm very fond of.
Right.
Right? The other ones are not naturally born with the gift, but they worked hard for it. They worked hard for the bread to do this change.
Right.
You gotta acknowledge the hard work.
Listen.
You don't acknowledge the hard work?
Listen. I'm not shitting on their hard work, Marv. Some of the shit what you doctors out there are doing
Amazing.
Let me tell you something. You guys are amazing. Some of the finished product, what I've been seeing, you guys are amazing. Right?
I keep it vague. Trans person I spoke to, got their vagina done in Argentina.
Right.
Not in North America, in Argentina.
Right.
Allegedly, the shit squirts. Well, you know how I feel about squirt. But allegedly, the shit squirts. So like that was the conversation that I was having. I was like, they're like, yeah, you want to see? I'm like, no, take your word for it.
Listen.
The party favor is not really needed.
Some of you doctors out there.
Doing great job. Great work. Salute to the doctors.
Great jobs. You're doing great jobs. But what I want
is it God's work or is it the devil's work?
It's man's work. But what I would like to say to the trans women out there is that I think it's been proven that there's a lane for you. I don't think you have to be a woman, like a full out woman. I think there's a lane for you trans women. As one of them so eloquently said, men will screw anything.
Yes.
I don't think we're at the point now in this day and age where you'll have men who are comfortable with letting you know that I like transsexual women.
Malik Ilba?
Now, you don't gotta hide no more, and you don't gotta be pretending to be a real woman. You don't.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Well, you know who we came for the game for, to hopefully to win, but we see you at it. Well, because my last take on it would be, especially in North America, like what you were saying, most of the rights and stuff, you feel like most of the rights, so they have a good amount of rights. I feel like in North America, we really push the LGBT community heavy. Right. And I want to say, even the triangle aspect of the flag is for the trans folk, I believe. I was told. And I think like the black line represents like black trans people and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Okay. Can I just interject real quick?
Floor is yours.
Okay. We have to come to some sort of consensus with how long the acronyms is going to be. And then just like the symbols on whatever flag. We can't just be constantly changing this. I'm losing track.
Well, because you remember the pride flag was just straight rainbow.
Yes.
And
then it got the triangle in there somewhere.
Yeah. So that's newer.
Then it got the two colors of the triangle in there somewhere.
Yeah, they got something. It's popping over there. Well, you know, they got a lot. They got
keep up.
They got troves. They got troves of tribes.
I can't keep up.
They got troves of tribes. I mean, if it's not your world, I look at it like this. If it's not your world, at least the basis of the education and stuff you should be informed.
Right.
Right? Like I want to look at it stuff as where that's a different conversation, but I want to say this. You should be informed, and I'm not saying you're conditioning the kids.
Right.
Right? Like again, with the story times and the drag thing, that might be a different conversation and stuff too, but I look at it stuff as where when it comes to that age, or when you feel like the set person has this kind of level of understanding and they're questioning some things, time for the education. Time to give them the info.
Right.
But if they're nowhere, space, shape, or form, like they're in their own la la land and world, like, because I look at it where they're arguing, like a lot of the LGBT community and stuff, they're like when they try to look for alliance with black people, they always tend to say like we go through the same things and stuff as black people, so they went through. And I always say that argument is false, right? Like there's been gay people from the beginning of the time, but there's been black people that's been like massacred over 400 years and stuff, whatever, and ill-treated horrendously.
Yeah.
There are gay people that are probably still alive within that time, and I don't think they're probably executed to that level compared to the black people. Let's say they might. I don't have math. I don't want to give you anecdotal stuff.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
when they try to look at, we went through the same kind of things. No, you have not, because I look at it where, again, the stuff that I stated, and then the other piece of stuff is that you've now created a sect for your black tribe, right? If you're looking at the stuff where like black people, no. That part of the triangle is for your black tribe.
Right.
Our black tribe, I guess, will be kind of like just hilarious aside.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't no comprende.
Yeah.
So I don't want to speak on nobody's world. Enjoy your world, enjoy your life. Know for a fact that whatever you do, and if it's different from the quote unquote norm, you have to answer questions. I'm not saying you have to like get a soapbox and stand on in front of your house and everything, but it's going to come to a point where a kid might even walk up. You look like a man, but you're dressed like a lady.
Right.
This is not the time to ridicule the kid. Educate. Talk nicely. You don't have to speak anything to the kid. You can probably say, get your kid, or hi, parent. Maybe you should inform your child of like people like myself.
Right.
Right? Because I went to a suburb one day. I went to a math competition. I was in high school? Yeah, I was in So we were in like some backwater part of stuff in Ohio. I'm trying to remember where. I don't want to say the city and stuff for there, but I feel like it's like somewhere around Worcester, Ohio. We went to this math competition, and this girl stared at me. She was staring hard. So eventually, when it was like break time and stuff like that, I was like, yo, do I look like somebody you know? She's like, so a guy cut me off. He's like, I'm sorry. She was asking questions and stuff. She just hasn't seen that many black people. We're only 7 of us. We came on a small school bus. It's 7. And she's never seen that many black people. You're in Ohio, in America.
Yeah.
But I can't blame her.
No.
Because this is what her world doesn't consist of black people like that to that degree.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's the education portion and stuff, whatever. And again, some black people might feel like it's not your right to educate them, or you have to always explain yourself that they should know. We do live in the information age and stuff there, but I want to say everybody's questioning everything what they see on the internet now. I'm telling you something and stuff on the internet. You're telling me, dude, is that real information and stuff? You have conspiracy theorist people. You have all types of people that think different type of ways.
Yeah, I'm always I'm always a fan of sharing information, especially knowledge, correct knowledge, right? And if I need to educate somebody, even though I think they should already know themselves, then I'll. And if I have the time to take the time out to do it, then I'll.
Yeah, if you have the time,
right?
If you have,
but it's only going to be like a one-time lesson. I'm never trying to teach somebody the same lesson twice. You either didn't take me seriously or understood what I was saying the first time around, or you're just not capable of understanding what I need to say.
Hold on, separate that. So now if you're going to teach me something and I didn't get it the first time, you won't reteach me that lesson again.
No.
Why not?
Well, like I said, either you didn't pay the attention of me teaching it to you the first time, because I'm teaching it to you in a way.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to repeat myself.
Okay.
So I'm going to make sure the first time when I give you the information, I'm going to be crystal clear as possible.
Your but your communication skills are very good.
Right.
They're very well. Right. They're very, very good.
Right.
Now there's other people and stuff, their communication skills suck like a porn star.
Yes.
And they move with that mentality.
But they have no right to move with that mentality, though. That and I'm gonna state that here. Like if you can't communicate your thought or whatever you need to communicate, what you're communicating effectively enough the first time, you got to think of what you're doing.
And this is coming back to the argument. Like for me, bring it back to like the T.S. Madison and her argument.
Right.
I was like,
because when I was watching it, I was like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but I don't see where you're addressing what Jess was saying.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's exactly how I felt when I was watching that.
So it's kind of like you weren't listening to Jess,
right?
To say, all right, she had this statement, address that statement, this, address that. It was kind of like, she don't like us. Not what she didn't say.
Yeah.
She don't like us. and then to go in on your own personal rant.
And it could even be the point. The point of the fact of the matter, Marvin. It could even be that, yeah, she did hear what Just had to say, had nothing to say to that, but figured I'm going to respond anyway because I can't just leave it unresponded. So let me respond with this.
It's not our fight.
It's not our fight.
We just sit there and watch with popcorn.
It's not.
Because we're men in the audience, so anything we say can and will be used against of us as homophobic, transphobic, etc., etc.
I just find, we'll move on. I just find it ironic that, it's just only like a few years ago that this whole you cannot call a woman a female thing came up. It's disrespectful to call a woman female. I didn't understand it to the point when another woman was having an argument, I asked, why is it? Just to get an answer. And me asking that question got me attacked. So I was like, okay, well, apparently
it's not your fight. This is why we're on this assignment.
This is a very delicate situation here. I just find it so ironic that now you're arguing to be a female because it represents what you want as a woman.
The irony for me is that I'm going to say, from what I've seen from gay culture to even trans people or like more trans women,
right,
emulate black women. They learn a lot of their things and stuff, and they like the whole fierce, the attitude and all that type of stuff. That sassiness, that's black woman.
Right.
Right? They emulate that much. Now they felt like, student has become the teacher. So now the same people that were riding for you and fighting for, because you know. Hold on. You know for a fact that you had a woman, or a woman and she had a gay friend. She's telling you proud, I got a gay friend. They don't like all men. The woman will ride for the gay friend. And the real woman or the cis woman rode for the trans woman until this moment. And now the trans women have turned on them. It's like like I said, the student wants to become the teacher.
Who uses the phrase girl more? Black women or gay people?
I want to say probably it might be on the level of the gays. The reason why I say the gays and stuff is because I don't think black women of other cultures would use girl like that in a statement.
Right.
So let's say if you're a woman from Africa, somewhere like in a specific country, you wouldn't talk like that.
You wouldn't talk like that.
You wouldn't talk like that.
No, but that's a perfect example of something that was taken from the black community.
But then you have, like, I want to say, we'll look at RuPaul Drag Race.
Right.
RuPaul Drag Race isn't just to America.
No.
You have we talked about the Australian one, where remember they said like the one person was black and they were Aboriginal.
Yeah.
So you got that, Thailand, the South Americas and all that type of stuff. And those contestants on there, I'm pretty sure, like most of them will be men dressed as women and stuff and everything.
Right.
Most of them are gay.
Yeah.
And they would say, girl. Even because even RuPaul even says girl a lot. So they look at it, RuPaul, as their God.
Right.
RuPaul is their Beyonce.
Right.
So now they're looking at RuPaul and stuff like, if what a RuPaul says is like gospel.
Right.
So if RuPaul's like, girl, they learning that shit. So I feel like there's more gay men that says girl than black women. No more. Then we'll be transphobic and homophobic. Speaking of realities, is reality objective or subjective? Because you got some people, we know objective would be the factuals, with I guess what's kind of law, or what we know as law. At one time it was subjective, but now it's objective because it's facts and factual.
Right.
Or is reality subjective with what you make it?
We might be leaning more back into the subjective territory right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Just how the ways are going. We kind of like, we're kind of breaking old steadfast rules and creating new ones at the same time. And because of that, it's like at one point where you might be certain about the future, I think is a little bit more full of uncertainty right now. And I think because of that, people are more prone to. I mean, we always had the argument of the planner and the
person wing it,
the wing it person.
Yeah.
But it's looking like we're coming closer to that wing it territory.
No, definitely.
Yeah. It's a perfect example is like right now, you have some people who are sitting in their homes, not knowing what they're going to do next month if the interest rate rises again. You have some people who are sure that, they're not sure they'll be in their house 2 months time.
Correct.
Whereas before, you could be comfortable in your security with what's happening next. You'll be here for a while. There's so much happening. Like, nah. So it's like, now it's like, well, am I going to live for the future or am I going to live for today? And if I'm living for today, is it going to be a subjective life I'm living or is it objective life? I don't know if it's going to be an objective life people are going to choose right now. I think people are going to try to just live their life to the fullest because they're unsure of what tomorrow is.
I feel like that's a small fraction. The reason why I say it's a small fraction is because I think with when COVID hit,
yeah,
and now people are looking to people have broken free, but I want to say when that break free moment came for whatever country or whatever location, they were more in the subjective type of thing. Like, I'm going to make the best of this. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to spend this money but
right.
Okay. You're not in that situation. So let's say like week 1 of the freedom, you're going to go in here, fuck your social bubble, what they said?
Bubble.
Fuck your social bubble and everything like that. You're now just intertwining and integrating and stuff everywhere. That first week, you can do that again and stuff like the next month. But when does reality kick in and stuff like, even if you go around so many people,
right?
Who say you're not going to get sick even with a common cold? Who's to say, you know what I'm saying? Like the regular factors and stuff that like they didn't exist. You were home locked up and you were isolated and it wasn't the type of world you wanted to live and you broke free.
Right.
And I feel like when you broke free, that's a subjective thing. Be like, when do you rein shit in? Like, I feel like you could be a baddie living with your family and stuff, whatever, going to Dubai, going there, all the above. You won't be a baddie forever.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be, I think that's going to depend on the consequence you buck up onto, right? Like if you, let's say you break free and you go be a baddie for a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In that month time you go be a baddie, you run out of cash, you get into a car accident.
Baddies don't run out of cash. Baddies don't run out of cash.
Well, you're pretending to be a baddie. Remember, this is subjective thinking, Marv.
What are you trying to say? She's a trans.
You're not really a baddie.
My hypothetical woman is a trans baddie. Marv, she's identifying as a baddie, but she's not.
We can go on IG right now and find countless of pretend to be baddies.
Once again, folks, another episode of the Shit Smooth Says. As you were, continue.
A month goes by. She crashes her whip. Now she owes all this money. Now she's realizing that shit. No, I can't just live willy nilly. I have responsibilities. I gotta I gotta rein shit in. I gotta plan for tomorrow because tomorrow will happen. Right? Baddie B, first day, might meet a millionaire. Right? He lavishes her for an entire month. Her month passes and she's like, hot damn, this friggin' carefree life that I'm living, I'm never going back to the shit that I was before, right? So to me, it's going to be subjective. It's going to be like, what are the pitfalls right now that's going to wheel you in? It's either going to push you further, it's either going to wheel you in. If tomorrow comes and I can't afford rent,
that's subjective.
That's
objective or subjective? You can't afford rent.
Right now, it's going to be...
you need to pay rent.
Right now, it's going to be subjective. What am I going to do if I can't pay it? I need to pay it.
Well, if you spend your rent money on something else, whatever, that's subjective.
No, but I'm saying, not even with me spending on something else. I'm going back. Let's say I have it, but the unforeseen thing, like the interest rate goes up. Now it's $200 more. I don't have the extra $200.
Right.
What am I gonna do now? Am I gonna hustle up to $200, or am I gonna just go smoke and burn off the cash and hopefully wish for the best that comes the next month? At that point, it's a choice, and I think people are just. I don't think people are having a clue of what the next step is going to be. I think a lot of people are now winging it.
I feel like I live in an objective world. And I feel like a good portion of people and stuff in today's society lives in a subjective world. Like I look at, we have the overall truth,
right,
and what we know. And there's, again, like I said, there's stats, there's numbers, there's science. And some people just would choose to ignore that of what we already know. And then you have the subjective side and stuff that they live in their own reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when they live in their own reality and stuff, there's no qualms and stuff to that. But you have to know that your world is not normal or the average. Like,
No.
I remember, I always forget her name, but the light-skinned girl who was saying that her exes have to pay her rent.
Right.
That's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
Because I look at it stuff as like, how many people have been exes of somebody,
Right.
and they have to fit their bill,
Right.
until they meet a new person.
Right.
That's like few, far, and wide.
But
That's alimony.
But that just goes back to what I'm saying. She was able to live in that subjective world because she kept meeting men who allowed that, and there was never a man that, until she got into the on that show, that was saying, no, I'm reality. This is the objective world. Come back. Come back to us. And even then, she lived in the subjective world for so long that she said, hell no, there's another subjective nigger out there that I can go find. And there is.
You know why I love bringing this lady up? Is because each time,
it's the fashion.
your blood pressure elevates. Like, your voice changes. You want to come with the finger and this woman really rubbed you the wrong way.
This woman, the audacity.
Yeah, the audacity. Yeah.
She lives in a subjective world, Marv. She's in a very subjective world.
Okay, on the percentages, so you think most people live in a subjective world? I'm
there, like right now. Right now, I think there's more people living in a subjective world.
And that's a problem, because I look at it, it's a major problem, because I look at it stuff as where just that thinking, just that one seed of the subjective world thinking.
Yeah.
That means it's my world and you guys just live in it.
But and again, what the problems that we face as a
society,
people, as society, is that, and this is what and not only that, this is what like governments, those who are in power, they bank on, right? Because as long as we're living subjectively and they're living objectively, they'll just remain in control, and they'll just remain pulling all the strings, and we'll just remain the reactive.
Fair. Is truth the new hate speech?
Oh. I mean, what was the one that I said before?
You could be anything in the world except right.
But except right. Did we so say the sun's out win yet?
No. You want to?
I think we need to. Is truth the new hate speech? I mean, speaking the truth can get you in a whole lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking the truth in some instances can probably land you some jail time.
Because, okay, if we're talking about the trans community earlier,
right? Yeah.
Right? What we stated was, again, with the XY chromosome and all the above, this is science. This is the truth we know now.
Right.
Because I want to say there was a time where lightning or fire came from God.
Right.
And now people walk around with lighters in their pockets. This is the science and the truth we know.
Yeah.
Some people don't like to hear the truth. Or, what is it? You want the truth, you can't handle the truth? They're looking to cancel Jess Hilarious for speaking the truth. So,
but I mean, it's okay. Let's take it even to last year, and it's still an ongoing thing right now. In Canada, there's it's in Ontario. I can't remember the exact area where the young gentleman at his high school, he got kicked out of his high school for saying that there's only 2 genders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was in Oakville, some school in Oakville.
Okay.
He got kicked out of the school for saying there's only two genders, which prove that wrong. Anybody out there who can prove that there's more than 2 genders, please write to the show.
No, I'll speak on the show. There's people that identify as furries, as lamps, as lions. They non-binary. These qualify as genders. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I say sex.
That's why you say sex?
I say sex. I'm like, are you a male or are you a female? Because that's sex. So the art, again, I have conversations with different trans people.
Yeah.
They're just, they feel like I'm violent. They say, they're like, we see in your podcast.
Okay.
We know you'll go deep. That's why they don't want to show off.
So we can no longer use gender.
No, gender's gone.
We have to use sex.
Gender's gone.
Gender's what they've
PC.
They did to gender what they've done to women.
Yes. And mother.
And mother.
Birthing parent.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And mother. It's birthing parent.
Hot damn.
All right, I pulled it.
I'm curious now to see like this year's edition of like a Webster's Dictionary.
Oh, like going toward the end of the year?
Yeah. Like the latest edition to see if certain words as we still know it is in there, and if they are in there, if they still have the same meaning as we know it.
We'll find an update. I'll find an update, and then we'll get back to this then, and we'll have that convo.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out.
What else we got? You want to talk about UFOs? Are we over it? Are you over it? You want to?
I mean,
you have something to say about it? I'm over it.
I think we can be over it right now because it seems like it's just like the trickle, a trickle here, a few months down the line, a trickle here, a few months. Because I mean, it was just a few months ago. It was the aliens in the backyard.
Yeah, aliens in the backyard.
The aliens in the backyard.
I think sometime during the pandemic and stuff, more UFOs start popping up. And
right.
Those footage that was being seen on CNN and main places.
Right.
And aliens in the backyard in Vegas.
So I mean,
Nevada.
At this point, is fair to say that we have aliens.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we just wait till the aliens start doing some alien shit? Now we can say, oh, yo, that was some alien shit to talk about aliens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Fair. Yeah.
Wait, let me ask you this. If a celebrity came out and said they were an alien, which celebrity wouldn't shock you?
Keep it a buck.
That's all we do.
Not a. Well, I don't know if you consider him a celebrity.
Public figure. That's the word they use on social media.
Okay.
Public figure.
Facebook dude.
Mark Zuckerberg?
His eyes freak me out, bro. I swear, dude. I swear. Every time I look at him, I think alien. I'm not even lying. Talk the truth, Marv. You don't get that vibe from him sometimes when you see him?
He reminds me of there's a cartoon like Phineas and Ferb. Like he reminds me of that cartoon, the way how they drew him and stuff, right? Beauty's in the eye of the beer holder. He's married. He got a boo.
He's married. Yeah, he did. He does.
He got a boo. Like I look at it stuff as like, if I had a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg and stuff, I'd be like, yo, dog, you ain't doing shit with yourself. He's like, I got $1 billion and a wife. Do you have neither? And I'd be like, no.
Sometimes I look at him like his eyes, like he doesn't have no pupils. Like it looks like he doesn't have any pupils.
You think he's a lizard man?
He could be, man. Could be.
I'm thinking now. I think a celebrity that wouldn't shock me. Shit. I got my money on Joe Biden.
Joe Biden?
I got my money on Joe Biden.
Sleepy, eh?
Because this the shit he does now, like I want to classify as dementia.
Yeah.
But I want to say even prior, it was like okay. Remember Key and Peele had that inner Obama thing with Luther, Obama's real representative for him?
Right.
In real life, Joe Biden was like this ultimate rider for Obama. It's kind of like if Obama had a problem. Well, we got a problem? We got a problem with Obama was like, yo, Joe, relax.
Joe is that dude, man. Joe.
And so, but I always feel like, yo, the ones that's doing that is kind of compensation, like the deflector, you know?
Yeah.
The guy with the big truck with the big wheels and everything, got a little dick.
Right.
You know, I feel
overcompensating.
Like overcompensating. So that's why I feel like, yo, all these years, I think you're overcompensating and stuff, but now your peoples are ready to take you back.
Yeah.
I feel like this is why you're not giving a fuck no more. Like, we're gonna end this shit soon. I can go start licking babies like their ice cream. It's not even, he's there. He's licking the little baby's back. I was like, you're not high.
What kind of alien shit is this?
Yeah, you're not high. I guess you're trying to sniff the meal in one case. But okay, well, look at the clone thing. But okay, do you believe in celebrity clones? We know Jamie Foxx just came out with the movie. They cloned Tyrone. Right? The Jamie Foxx that you see now after this whole ailment thing and the Jamie Foxx prior, to me, they're not going to be the same.
No,
because if you're malnourished and you're not getting certain type of things, that you might, that's the reason why he's skinnier and smaller.
Although, I mean, his head looked kind of more narrow.
Here we go.
His head looked kind of more narrow in the photos.
Here we go. So you believe in celebrity clones?
No, what I said was the camera that they used for the second photo, the lens, wasn't a great lens that they used on it. So he just looked more narrower. But first of all, it's the comparison pictures that they use, they're not the greatest comparison pictures.
I'm done.
They're not the greatest comparison pictures, right? And I think that was the argument that people were using. His head looked different. Some people were talking about the hairline. that like they don't know these actors use Beijing. So and when you're in the hospital,
they didn't clone Tyrone. They cloned Jamie.
They cloned Jamie. They don't know, like when you're in the hospitals, it's hard to get that Beijing to get that full hairline back to where it's supposed to be.
But I see, I always see when it comes to when Gucci Mane went in.
Yeah.
When Gucci Mane, before he went into prison, like I think the sweetest thing is to like, yo, are you a predicate family? Bitch, I might be, you never forget that.
Right.
But he told the judge that. I was like, shit, 06 Gucci. He go in, he come out, and people are subject to change.
Yeah.
People have the right to change.
Right.
I don't think everything will kind of remain the same, but I'm not thinking they fucking cloning a full person.
Well, remember they said they cloned Dave Chappelle at one point.
That's what I said.
They said they cloned Dave Chappelle. Then they got all militant. Oh, no, they couldn't have cloned him. He's for us. He's for the people. I was like, make up your mind, man. Either they cloning us or they're not.
So, okay, give me...
Celebrities, I don't think they've cloned any celebrity. I'm not swearing 100%. They might pop up later on that they cloned a few of you. Hey. But to say that cloning of a human has not been done, I think it's been done.
No.
I think it's been done.
But I feel like on a molecular cellular level and stuff,
yeah,
I don't know if they have anything as of yet to speed up the aging. So let's say Smooth became great.
Right.
Smooth is now a great man. Say you have your own country, you own your own, you're a leader of Drew Fest.
Right.
Okay? You run this shit. They're like, you know what? This guy's a great person. Let us clone him. They'll probably start from when your I want to say your accolades are now recognized.
Right.
You're not going to start when you're friggin' like 5 years old, not doing whatever the fuck.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. If they start, let's say 5 years ago.
Right.
That clone to be like 5 years old. They're not, I don't think they're hyper speeding up like how, if they can grow to your height within that time frame and stuff.
But I mean,
there you go. Where's your proof? What
I was going to say is that they're growing individual body parts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But even those take time.
But how long does it take though? Because I've seen like, I was watching this one show where I seen like they grew like a freaking human ear on back of a rat. And that was like a fully grown human ear.
I remember it.
So I was saying,
but even that ear and stuff in itself took at least, I think I know exactly what rat you're talking about.
Right.
I think when I saw that same thing and stuff, I think they said it took like over a year and change to get to that full ear.
And when did you see that?
This was like way back when, I want to say probably 2018, 19.
And how long was Jamie in the hospital for?
For a few months, like 2 months.
So what if they invented rapid cloning? Then rapid aging?
Again, where's your proof? Where's your proof? You live in a subjective world of yours. We have the reality. We have our reality. Where are you? Are you a reality man? Are you objective or subjective?
I'm subjective right now, Marv. I'm subjective right now.
All right,
if 2018, the technology was going a full-grown ear on the back of a rat.
In 2023, you're thinking they sped up the process?
They microwaving people.
Okay, what else we got? One more thing is before we get to the question of the week. Is Playboy Magazine still hurting? Are they hurting for sales, or are they still moving units? Because Playboy is still relevant to us. So we grew up hearing about Playboy.
Yeah, but I think the relevancy is no longer within the magazine. I think it's just within the brand itself. I think they're more... I think they're... What's keeping them still here is their merchandising. Like the clothing... whatever they like
you
have.
buy Playboy clothes? You ever know anybody who buy real Playboy clothes? I'm talking about shit from the flea market.
Nah,
okay.
I don't know anybody personally, but actually no. I know a few people who have
some like authentic merch. Playboy,
authentic merch, Playboy merch. But it's like one in like a few, right?
Million.
But I know
a few million.
Yeah, but to say if I know somebody who still reads the magazine, I probably don't.
So I feel like more people will still buy the magazine for collector purposes.
Right. Okay. Yes.
So that's why I feel
this when we talked about the Sports Illustrated thing, like a few months ago.
Which one?
No, when we were saying Sports Illustrated when Thing graced the cover, the was it Martha Stewart was on the Sports Illustrated cover the other day, and we were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody really is messing with Sports Illustrated. Only collectors who are collecting like maybe the so-and-so issue.
Correct.
Same deal. You're not really doing a Playboy unless it's like some big celebrity who probably may have never done the spread before, or someone you just want to see. Like if Cardi B says next week she's going to do Playboy, I'm pretty sure people are going to go out and buy the Playboy.
And the Cardi B has OnlyFans. Right. So I look at it stuff as where, let's say whatever Q&A that they might come up with or develop with and stuff on, let's say in the magazine for the writers, tutorials and everything.
Yeah.
Somebody can just type the same message out on her OnlyFans.
No. You're going to buy the Playboy. You're going to buy the Playboy.
Why?
Because that Playboy will be with you forever.
But you can screen record.
you can wrap that Playboy and tuck it underneath your arm, Marv. You can get lost on an island with no connection to video, anything. This is organic. This is analog. You flip that bad boy out and you read those articles tomorrow. It's tangible. It's there and it'll be with you forever. Collectors.
I agree, but I feel like because I look at like PlayStation and stuff, they have the digital,
right,
and they have the disc, right? The disc will be more for the nostalgic folks and all the above.
Yeah,
but then you have the digital, and much as with I think it's the PlayStation Live. With PlayStation Live, you can access all the games,
right,
that ever came out and stuff within like let's say for a monthly subscription,
right.
So think about how many games you would probably have to spend. Let's say you might spend $1 million to get like maybe like 100 games.
Okay,
right. Well, now you can get 100 games for let's say $24.99 a month.
Right.
A lot of people are moving forward and stuff to say fuck the tangible, the thing that you can hold and tuck underneath,
right,
for the digital thing because. Just tell people with Netflix subscriptions, how many people still have DVD or Blu-ray players?
That's
what I'm saying. I feel like
the other day my father-in-law asked me for a cassette if I had a cassette player. I was like, I say, Pops, I don't know about that one.
So that's what I'm feeling like. I feel like the digital thing will still kind of run.
Yeah.
Because worst case scenario is kind of like you might have never downloaded it, but somebody else still has it without needing to be connected to the internet. Like I have Spotify. My Spotify now, I want to say, because I can stream what the fuck I got, I got tons of gigs. So I just play.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to download a playlist or download anything from Spotify onto my phone because most of the places I go, I'm in a reception zone.
Right.
But let's say the day with evil ass Rogers, everything is killed.
Right.
Cannot access the Spotify.
Right.
So other people are fucked, but I still have hardcore music still here.
Still on the phone.
So then that's when I looked at stuff. I was like, yes. The tangible, I fully understand. I respect it.
Yeah.
Not too many.
Hmm.
Not too many, because I know a lot of people. Like, I see somebody like, you're listening to music? You don't have a Spotify. I'm like, I do have Spotify, but I have it on my phone. They're like, why didn't I think of that? Fuck you mean? I'm an analog person living in the digital world, though.
I think as like me as a creator,
Mm-hmm.
I think just by the nature of what we do,
Mm-hmm.
like just having like that tangible analog
Mhm.
portion of it, it's like it's almost like a security blanket type of deal. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what happens. My computer crashes tomorrow, my hard drive smashes, or you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I'm a big component. I haven't done it yet, but as soon as I get the chance and I find a DVD burner, like my hard drives, like I'll burn them all to DVDs. Because I know at some point the mechanics in the hard drives will fail. They might accidentally get overwritten, this, that, and the third. But that physical DVD or CD medium, it'll stay like that for the rest of its life. I just gotta have something that can transfer it to whatever medium that it comes up to.
I was about to say the same damn thing. Cause I'm about to say, have you seen the damn MacBook Airs? They don't have no damn CD-ROM DVD drive. These things and stuff are all USB plug-ups.
All USB plug-ups.
And now you got to rely on that because the USBs can get damaged as well, right? They can get corrupted as well. So I look at it as we're from that generation, from that time where we started to believe in computers, but we're aware of what the world was like before technology boost. Now I feel like the generation after, they just invest fully in computers. Like like a girl told me, she's younger. I want to say she's like about 23, 24.
Right.
And she told me and stuff. She works with the cloud, the Apple cloud. She's like, she bought the cheapest iPhone.
Yeah.
And she just increased the cloud space. So I'm like, those clouds get hacked. Like I've seen a lot of celebrity news and stuff from the time. She's like, no, but she has faith in it. They have faith. So okay. Yeah, we're good. Let's get to this question of the week.
Question of the week.
Oh, before we go to question of the week, salute to the girl with the big titties. That's the reason why I was talking about the Playboy thing.
Oh,
with
yes,
the Drake,
yes.
The Drake and the bra toss.
Salute to her. She got the Playboy gig.
They were hollering at her. She said she's on the fence.
No. I seen a picture of her.
She jumped on it?
Yeah, she jumped.
Good for her. Make that bread.
She jumped on it.
Make that bread. Okay. Question of the week. My Mace song was playing in my head, so that's why I had this one. If you had 24 hours to live, how would you spend your last day?
Question of the week. 24 hours to live? Mm-hmm. How would I spend my last day?
Mm-hmm.
Making sure the loved ones know how I feel about them.
So and that you can tell them that in an hour. Like
yeah. That and I don't know. I probably just soak in as much as I possibly can. I probably wouldn't try to do anything.
You won't try to do anything?
No, I probably wouldn't try to do anything deliberately. Just whatever that last day brings to me, I'll just take it in stride.
If I had 24 and stuff, if it starts like, I guess from the midnight run, I'll make sure I try to get a good amount of sleep possible. Cause I ain't taking no naps the rest of the day. Like when I wake up after that, so right. Say if I go to bed, like, all right, countdown starts at 12:01 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make sure if I can get to at best for myself, maybe like 6 hours.
Okay.
I can get. If I can get the solid 6, which I know me and my crackhead self, I probably might just wake up like 5 hours. But if I can get the 6 hours, then I'm starting the stuff from that 6 a.m. thing. I know there's no more naps. It's just go.
Yeah.
I'm going to visit some people that I want to really visit and see if I can within that day and that parameter.
Yeah.
Tell the loved ones stuff. I love them and everything. But I want to say like in between my drives.
Right.
I wouldn't, like normally I play music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play music. I just would make that phone call, the connection. If I can't get anybody and stuff, whatever, then I'm going to use that time to kind of just make it for me to do me.
Right.
And I'm savoring every fucking thing. I'm savoring everything.
Yeah.
because and you know if you know death is definite, you're moving a lot different. Or you know when death is coming, you're
Right.
moving a lot different. Doing terrorist shit, maybe when I was younger, like the song said, you have 24 hours to live. Just think, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw?
Right.
I'm not trying to screw nobody over. Maybe trying to screw a few people, but I mean, that's the different kind of screw.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it comes to like that final hurrah to come back around, like that 11th hour, that final hour, I might wallow in regret. Like, I don't want this to be over. Because I know with me doing all of that, I do it on the regular.
Mm.
And those make for good ass days for me. Like a good ass day. Like if I come, I see you, then I go see another person and stuff, whatever, then we kick, we politic, we do this, I have drinks with this person, I have food, I go see this woman, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, my fucking day was awesome. You having an awesome day like that, they'd be like, well, this is your final awesome day.
You really want it to end.
I want more.
You really want it to end.
So, yeah, exactly.
You really want it to end.
I would be in that denial aspect in the last hour, but let's just ride it out. I wouldn't want to be around my son on my final closing tick.
Nah, me neither.
No, I wouldn't want no one to see me go. If you could put me in a room and then just come in there after and collect my body afterwards,
yeah,
I prefer that.
The other day when we were watching the documentaries on the Disney Channel, and I got stuck in Ape World. That's so like when like the elders in the group,
mm-hmm.
when they're realizing like it's like their time to go, it's like they'll go around and like they'll communicate with whoever they need to communicate with first,
mm-hmm.
and then they'll walk away from like the community itself and like just go find like a
wander to find somewhere to die
and just find a spot to
I'm about that.
Yeah, I'm about that.
I always like I was born alone and I have no problem with stuff like dying alone, but I just know for a fact once I extenuate my love and my feelings and everybody know, that's why I give roses when they're around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm grateful. I'm gratitude for attitude,
Yeah.
So I would do all of that on a regular basis. So when it comes to that, I'm like, all right, did I get this person? I got that person. All right, I'm good. So as I said, I'll just be by myself in that last hour and be like, damn, it's really going to be over? But I would be by myself. I wouldn't want like even, let's say, a significant other.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want them because I wouldn't want them to see the light flow from out of my body and my eyes and stuff, whatever, because I don't know how they might take it.
Right.
And I don't know how, if they're able to shake it off. Me, depending on how deep I am in love with that person, if it was the other way around, I wouldn't, if by choice they're like, I want you to be close by at my final moment, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And then when they go, I'm not thinking about that moment. I'm not thinking about the last final moment with the person and stuff. I'm thinking about the greater and good and the better days and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that last moment, I can just remember like it'd be like a little blip. Be like, yeah, I remember I saw you like this, and just keep it pushing.
Mm.
Okay, let's get to the Axe of Sons.
That's the Sons.
First Axe of Sons come from King-Learjet. What is something that you don't think you'll ever do again in your life?
Something that I'll never do again in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna say never, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Ice skating.
Ice skating?
Yeah.
You're afraid of Tanya Harding might come out and club you?
She might. But I'm just saying, like the last time I ice skated, I was in like primary school.
That's elementary for the people that don't know.
Elementary school.
Primary. I was like, in Jamaica?
Primary.
In Jamaica?
But yeah, so I'm like, man, if I haven't had the urge, and I don't have the urge to go ice skating, I probably may never do it again. Again, never saying never. After I say never.
I can say never too, but I want to say something I would ever think I would do again in my life. Enjoying the time with lost loved ones. Like when I was just talking about it, but the whole final tick.
Yeah.
Like I'll never have a drink of my father again. I'll never have a beer with my father. I'll never have a moment with your mom and everything like that. I think lost loved ones and stuff like those things that they're never. So that's why in this moment in my life now, I'm just savoring every moment. Like the jokes when you and I and your wife and stuff are having convos and everything, or I'm bonding with somebody else, I'm savoring because who's to say this can be replicated and stuff again? So this is the reason why I'm not chasing happiness like that. I'm chasing more contentment because if I did a specific thing and it brought me this ultimate happiness, that might never be able to be replicated again. So I can't say every year, April 29th, I'm going to go to whatever vacation spot or stuff over and over because that might be the spot. One year, it might be that moment.
Yeah.
Other people, other players might be interjected.
Right.
The following year, the food might be different.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it might be a wartime that year, but I'm still breaking my neck to go for this thing.
Right.
So I'm realizing the stuff for myself. I have to start. Well, I do savor shit now.
Yeah.
So I'm savoring the moments because, again, I would never ever have a drink of my father again. The most I can get is probably pouring a beer on his grave. That part.
Yeah.
Mandy 1111. Do attractive women intimidate men? Absolutely.
Yes, they do. They do. Some men, not all men.
Some
men.
You know what it is? It's that you said it before. Is it the prettiest girl in the room is the loneliest girl in the room? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
Because I think it just feels like that woman might be unattainable. But in today's times, I mean, some of those women, though, if you keep it a buck, they come with stipulations. Not like stipulations to say like I won't date, or like I'm single and I won't date you.
Right.
But it's kind of like, you need accolades to date.
Yeah.
I want to say like for some of the prettiest one is the loneliest one in the room. Yes, someone looking like, please, somebody talk to me. I didn't fucking get dressed up and dolled up, look like this for no one not to talk to me.
Yeah. But you don't talk to me. But not you over there. Don't talk to me.
That.
Maybe you, but definitely not you. But I'm open to you.
So I saw a woman one day.
Right.
And I was in a spot. And apparently she had eyes for me.
Right.
Right? I seen her, but I seen some dudes and stuff kind of talking to her. But the biggie thought never came to like later in the end. Because I was like, one, I don't know. I'm not into women that everybody else likes. I'm weird like that. Whatever, right? I look at stuff. If I find you attractive, that's me. But everybody else is breaking their neck for you. Like I have a story to tell you off air.
Okay.
About a friend.
Just remember to tell me because a lot of these off air stories, I don't get them off.
I feel you in it when I try to. I'm trying to remember them. But there was a specific female friend I have.
Right.
And my other male friends loved her like the fucking ice cream truck.
Okay.
And that made me extra friend zone her.
Right.
Because I looked at her stuff, I was like, why does everyone want you? Like, did you cure cancer? Yeah. Like, are you next in line to be Pope? Like,
what's so special about you?
Right. Yeah. And I'm looking like, yo, these guys are really breaking their neck to get yo, Mar, put me on.
Right.
Yo, tell her, I was like, yo, I just tell her like, yo, this person's in love with you. This other person's in love with you and stuff like that. And the funny thing too,
I feel like John was in one of those groups here.
John is always in one of those.
Shout out to John.
Salute to John.
Shout out to John.
John is always in the mix. Let me tell you for a fact. Yo, we work with the same slogan, but his thing is just more ruthless than mine. Our slogan, we get it from Nas. I'm nasty. Never let a pretty face pass me.
Right.
I'll work with that.
Right.
Him, he's looking like pretty face is not gonna pass me, and she gonna get this slander, and she gonna get this extra. It's like I was like, whatever's clever.
Whatever's clever.
Now, but I see a lot of times the stuff that with her,
right?
They always felt like they weren't significant enough,
and
she was single.
Yeah,
she was single like a dollar, and it's just that she was like, yo, like she said, well, tell them to come talk to me,
right?
Tell them to show me that they're interested in stuff for that. But I'm like, they're just intimidated by her attractiveness.
Her beauty, yeah.
So, yeah.
And in a situation like that, where again, with the whole prettiest girl in the room syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could really be looking at you or looking your way and probably only have eyes for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you may not be the hottest guy in the room. Right?
So
hold on.
Go ahead.
But then you see the hottest guys in the room hitting on her and getting nowhere. So then you see that and then you look at it and like, well, if the hottest guys in the room are getting nowhere, what chance in hell do I have?
First of all, how dare you? I am the hottest guy in
You're
every
the
damn
hottest
room
guy,
I
the
step
hottest
in.
guy.
Let me cross my leg and shit to let you know what kind of boss you sitting next to real quick.
So you don't have that fault then.
I'm not saying I don't. You're like, what the fuck the confidence with? No, okay, my situation now with the woman now, right?
Right.
Same thing. I saw a bootleg. What can I say this dude looks like? He looks the guy that was on the girls trip, the movie with Jada and Tiffany Haddish and Queen La and everything like that.
Yeah.
The dude with the oranges.
Right.
with the grapefruits on his dick and everything.
Yeah.
Dude was like that approaching her. And she was shooting it down.
Right.
Right? So I seen it. I seen the play and stuff. And I was like, oh, I looked at her and then I just see like a whole bunch of dudes approaching her. I left it. But I had to go in that vicinity and stuff to go get a drink. So I said, you know what? When I got up, I'm like, I gotta piss. Let me go piss first. And then when I come back, I'll get a drink. So I kind of did a hesitant step. So I guess she probably thought I was trying to talk to her and stuff at first because she told me that afterwards. And I was like, no, let me go piss. Go piss, wash my hands, then come back and everything like that. She's like, now you ready to talk to me?
Right.
So I was like, no, but I mean, well, fuck it. We here.
Right.
I'm Marv. And then she introduced herself and stuff. And so I was like, yo, I seen mad dudes come talk to you and stuff like that. And she's like, but I'm not into them. I saw you first.
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't you come the fuck over? She's like, I'm not a thirsty ass woman. I'm like, you seen parts. Can we get her a drink, please? And then we proceeded from there. And I was like, I laughed and stuff because I want to say I don't think I'm the most attractive. I don't think I'm ugly and stuff. But I feel like I'm decent.
Right.
I feel like I'm decent and stuff for that. And I say decent with confidence and stuff for that because I'm not self-absorbed.
Right.
So in my mind, when I saw, I think like probably 5 to 6 possible suitors, even the bartender booked the play because even the bartender's like, finally you're talking to a guy and stuff. I seen all these guys talk. I was like, I knew I saw what I saw. I'm like, I know I thought putty that. I'm like, yo, I know I saw some shit.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, she's like, and she said one dude, and the tall dude that I was saying, she's like, his breath stank. So I'm holding my drink, I'm like, she's like, no, you're good. I would have said, beat it, whatever. I was like, okay, score. I'm like, you know what? Let me get your number now before we go anywhere else.
Right.
And before you change your mind or some shit. So then, again, her eyes, I guess we made eye contact. And she said, she just felt like I had a different vibe and different air about me and stuff. So she's like, it's not always looks. But she said, I look clean and look presentable.
Right.
And that goes further and stuff, whatever, too. I'm like, of course it does.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm able to compete.
Yeah.
Fresh white tee. Basic man.
So, I mean, yes, pretty women are intimidating.
Yes. All right. Last question comes from Nick Knack. Was there a time where you were consciously an asshole and it paid off? Yes. No?
No.
Never.
Consciously an asshole and it paid off? No.
I was in a situation where I was driving.
No, I was gonna say. I thought about a car situation, even like
I was about to say because I was in a situation stuff when I was in a car and stuff, right? And I think set person cut me off.
Mm-hmm.
Set person cut me off and stuff, but then I end up catching up and like I want to say they switch lanes and try to get ahead, but I end up getting ahead of them, and then we're caught at a light, right? Me, I don't know what nobody got, whatever, right? However, I'm listening to my D Block shit.
Right.
And I think I was listening to Mighty Mighty D Block, Chic Luch. Right? So the song it's like everywhere we go, people want to. It gets real.
Yeah.
Sheek Louch, his verse, one of the most disrespectful verses I've ever heard in hip hop and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
So now the Jadakiss verse went off. Sheik's verse comes on and stuff, whatever. And when person and stuff like inches up, like in, like say traffic before the light takes off now, I'm at steering wheel and stuff, whatever. And I realize that that's the car. So I turn my head because I got windows down. And there's a part in the song like, fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck the hole you came through.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm singing that part and stuff, and I'm turning my head to the right because he's in the right lane.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck the hole you came through. The person's like, yeah, this black guy, he bought that shit. And took off. I was in no stage before to war. I was going to work.
You were going to work.
I was going to work. It's just that I need that kind of music to kind of help me, get through the day. So I was completely asshole. I could have had, I could have just not turned and direct everything towards him. I could have sang to my steering wheel, but I'm like,
you could have.
Fuck this.
Yeah. No, I can't think of a situation where I've ever been in and been an asshole and it paid off for me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Sage.
Yet. Still young.
You're human.
I'm human.
It would happen.
It's not if, when.
When. That's it. We are here now. So say the Suns. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Fire away. Say so say the Suns. We'll make it for this episode.
I like it when you say it. It rings with authority.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead.
So say the Suns this week says, you can be right. No, wait, what is it? I'm about to butcher.
You can be everything in this world.
All right, take two.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Take two.
So say the Suns this week says, you can be everything in this world except right. So says the Suns. What that means is you screwed. Get you some lube and pray. Because when the moment you think you're right, there's somebody willing to fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So say the Suns.
Says the Suns.
Yo, we are here. Good show. Good show. Yes, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. We appreciate you.
We do.
Please direct all your trans, hater, homophobia to that side of the... No, I'm just fucking with you. We are riders. We're in this together. We agree.
Listen, and we're open for the discussion, man.
Anytime you want to have the discussion.
If you're out there and you feel like, you want to have this discussion, we got to cheer for you.
If you're in the GTA area and stuff like that, don't hesitate to hit us up and come on the show and say your piece. And we'll bring the whole argument, the whole conversations back.
There you go.
Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.